So, what's one thing Google can never answer? And it's kind of a question. I don't expect people to answer me back, but there is things that Google, well, at least in the near future, okay, maybe a little bit longer than that, that they really can't answer. And the major thing is expert advice and opinion. You got to remember that voice search and SERP results, when you look at those results, they're very straightforward one shot answers like we've spoken about before. Okay? Where you can really shine, and you can do this with any industry, is those deep answers, that expert advice, that opinion that you have. A big part of our marketing strategy at LSC is giving our opinions and deeper form content. And no AI currently can really do that. They can answer a very straightforward question: what's somebody's age? What's the ingredients for this recipe? But they can't give their opinion. Hey, I really like this lasagna because it was my grandmother's, and the reason it was so great is that her heritage. Can't do it. Okay, can't go in. Ask Google about about the SERPs and what's going on. They can give you citations, but they can't answer those questions. Okay, so any search engine marketing strategy really nowadays you really need to be thinking about expert advice and opinion and really having that deep content. And you guys have heard me say this a ton of different times on a ton of different webinars, and my clients hear me say it all the time. You really need to have that deep content because that's where you can win. That's where they need to send somebody to you if they're going to get the full answer. And there's a few ways you can do that. One is that you really need to up your game with opinion and long form content. One way that we do it at LSC Digital is through video. I'll give this hour-long webinar today and we'll edit it. We'll put up videos. We'll add more videos of current things. Like we're, formerly IBM Watson, now Acoustic shop over here for marketing automation, and we do a lot of videos around that, help videos that are very powerful and helpful for people, and other things like that, that quite frankly, no search result is ever going to cover. And it's extremely effective for us. And I'm more than happy to pull up this page, and this is just our organic search results the past few months. Guess where we changed up our strategy? Now, of course, nothing happens overnight, but by having those videos, that deep content, really giving our opinions and being a thought leader has really helped with the organic search rankings. A lot of companies are going the other way. Yeah, they have a lot of content, but it's thin content. It's stuff that can very easily be presented, that somebody doesn't need to click through, that somebody doesn't really need to dig deep into. And that's really a real strength of any company. And it could be anything, whether you're selling gauges, whether you're selling blue widgets, whether you're selling forklifts. Granted, they can pull up, hey, here's the specs, but they can't talk about, hey, this is why companies prefer this over this, and here's experiences, and here's common challenges, and here's the most effective way to use it. They can't do any of that. Going back to, 2008, I worked with a gardening company who just did framing of garden beds, okay? Not sexy at all, but they would do videos about, hey, here's the best way, here's common challenges, here's an easy way to come, and it worked gangbusters for them way back then because people had to engage, people had to look at that. So I can't encourage you enough to really take some time, step back, and think about ways you can put together deeper content that the search engines need to drive the traffic to you, and that just can't answer it for you. And here's a common thing that you hear all the time. Cards, and those are where those little boxes are, that's a generic term, cards are killing organic click-through rates. You know what? They are, okay? They are killing organic search click-through rates. But you really need to embrace the card, okay, with long-form content. Now, here's the trick, though. This is where a lot of organizations make a mistake. They write their long-form content, and this is where, and once again, I'll refer everybody to past videos, past presentations, schema, structured data, all right? That's setting up your data in a way on your website that you ultimately will tell Google how to take in the data and arrange it and stuff. People go, why, and this is a big debate right now, Why do you want to do that? Why are you easily giving content to Google? They're just taking your content. And that's killing. And there are a lot of studies. And here's always my pushback that, hey, once I put schema in place, I saw my organic search traffic fall off. And it does. But you know what also falls off that everybody kind of likes not talking about? Their bounce rates fall off drastically as well. You know, and that's something that has to be looked at. You know, that's like a conversation I have with email all the time. Oh, we got a 30% click-through rate. Hey, that's awesome, but you only had a 10%, a 5% click to open rate. You know, wouldn't you much rather have a 20% open rate and a 30% click to open rate? You know, and those are things you have to study. So what I constantly see with schema is that you do see traffic go, your organic traffic go down. Absolutely. But you also see your bounce rate go down significantly. So I've seen, traffic go down 30%, absolutely. But I've seen an average bounce rate of 85% go down to 40%. So let's think about that. Hey, you're not getting the volume anymore, but you're getting more qualified that's engaging in your site. So, anybody, if you're not aware of schema, structured data, definitely check out past video of ours. It's right, once again, on LSC Digital YouTube channel. It's right there, very easy to find. And we also have a past webinar. Probably have the slides. If you check out my LinkedIn profile on SlideShare, you can check out. Also reach out to me. More than happy to talk about it. But use that structured data. But with that being said, just don't, going back to the theme of this, just don't give the answer. Just don't say, hey, what is the best time to go to sleep? When I was working on this at 4 o'clock this morning, just don't give the answer, it's 8 o'clock. Okay, then you're shooting yourself in the foot. This is where so this was actually the number one result. Now, granted, it's not a competitive term. They start going on, well, it really depends. You need to think about, they started giving a really deep answer. So this was the number one result. Now, there was a ton of results below it that all said, you need to get 7 to 8 hours, so you need whatever time you want to get up, you need to subtract. So they gave very detailed answers that were right on the SERPs. That traffic's going nowhere, okay? So, they did it in a very good way, and this was the first search that I did, was that, hey, they're giving you enough information to establish themselves as the authority, and then if you notice, look at the, title and the link, hey, you want to learn more about this? We're the authority, click through, come see us, okay? So embrace the card. It's not going away, folks, okay? Embrace the card, embrace structured data, but make it work for you. Just don't give the one-shot answer. Really give thoughtful answers that's going to drive people to your page. Almost like back in the day, a lot of people on this call remember, meta descriptions. It was all about, hey, that's the sales copy. Well, guess what? Cards are. Think of them as your sales copy, okay? Using structured data, how are you going to get some good sales copy that's going to rank well, that's also going to drive people to your site? And then the last part that and this is an easy win for so many companies that they just don't do it. A/B testing, conversion optimization. Do more with the traffic that you're getting, okay? Once again, guys, these trends are not going away. I can't stress it enough, is that if everybody's hoping that everybody's going to stop, everybody's going to stop using Google, or the government's going to come in overnight and break Google up into all little pieces, you know what? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen anytime soon. They might get broken up for being a monopoly, but who knows? And that's not a business strategy at the end of the day. So I cannot stress enough to everybody, look at the traffic, how it's navigating on your site, and get the most out of that traffic. Don't, don't hope that things are just going to get better, or keep on putting out more and more and more and more thin content and think it's going to better. It's not. What was the rules a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago have changed. Now, granted, site structure, URL structure, interlinking, all extremely important. That's never going to go away, okay? That's, how people navigate. But once again, that goes back to testing your site as well. Because remember, interlinking isn't just about the search engines, it's also about being useful to the visitor that you have, you know, bringing them through the site. So really start testing your site. See where you're having high bounce rates. See where you can do more with that traffic. Test your pages. If you're pushing for a sale and you're getting a certain conversion rate, see how you can do better. If you see a page that's getting a lot of traffic from organic search, now of course we don't know what those keywords are a lot of the times, okay, through organic, but we know they're coming. Let's try to figure out how we can keep people there and go to the next page. So I can't stress enough to anybody, think about your site. I know it sounds so common sense, but how many companies on this call right now, and I know you can't answer, have a site that isn't a good user experience, okay? People can't find stuff. And what are you doing about that? So that's another thing that I can't encourage people enough to really, really think about. And one thing that I really neglected to put in here that I'm really kind of mad at myself that I didn't. And this is advice for anybody who's like a location, who's really trying to drive foot traffic and also trying to drive, phone calls. I cannot stress enough. We work with clients all the time is utilizing Google My Business. Okay. Now, granted, they're showing your address, they're showing your phone number, they're keeping that traffic right on site. But I've worked with way too many clients. Clients like, for example, we have a client in the medical profession who has 4 offices in 2 states. And we put their Google My Business up, they started getting reviews, and, we just filled it out, put it together, got pitched. We did a good job with it. But started generating phone calls. Have another client in the equipment business, the tri-state. Now granted, his space, his competitors really weren't doing much, but pretty much a site with no content on it. Google My Business and good reviews, started getting phone calls and traffic almost immediately. Okay, so if you're an organization that's looking to generate phone calls, looking to generate foot traffic, if you're not doing anything with Google My Business, I really encourage you to get your build out that profile, get it. Once again, they're not driving traffic to your site, okay? But you're showing up on Google Maps, okay? Your phone number's showing up when they do a search for, sports medicine in Danbury, okay? They're showing your address, wherever other guys are, and they're keeping that traffic there. But it's, first off, you can do it for free, okay? Take some time to set up that account, doesn't cost you anything. And then, of course, you want to do some advertising around it. But that's something we do for our clients. We set up their Google My Business. We set up some advertising for them across different channels, everything from restaurants to, like I said, professional offices. And guess what? Without exception, works extremely well for them. So that's what we got for today. So we talked about definitions, some terms. We talked about the search engine results page, some realities that any marketer is going to have to deal with in 2019. Some strategies and tactics that you really need to be working with, and and that was the main thing. Also, to the left here is my contact information. If anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out to me. You can reach out to me via LinkedIn. You can reach out to me Twitter. You can reach out to me by phone, by email. Don't hesitate to reach out. And I can't remind everybody enough, we have another webinar coming up. You can just pop right on our website. Hope it was valuable. Please feel free to reach out with any questions. Anybody that asks questions, I'll be reaching out to you. And have a great day.